Good evening and welcome to Dr. Leko's Origin of the Species. Tonight I am going to talk to you about a species that, were it not for a quirk of the nature, could well have been the most dominant species of today. It predated by many thousands of years the Neanderthal man and he was known as the Fullalove man. Now, there were a couple of things that happened to poor old Fullalove man that stopped it becoming the dominant species in the world, and a couple of them were this. Well, of course, Fullalove man had to eat, and he used to go out to hunt his food. Well, unlike the later years with the Neanderthal, who used to get his stick and he'd go chase the beasties and he'd whack them on the head and kill them so he could have something to eat. Fullalove man, he used to get a little stick and pick up the stones, and he'd put them on the floor and he'd whack, and try to whack these little stony things and try to ping him at the beast to try to kill it. Well, of course, this was a very difficult skill to master, and the prey used to just take one look at poor old Fullalove man and run away. Poor Fullalove man was often going very hungry, so this was not the way if you want to survive the species. But there was a far worse thing for poor man, and that was poor Fullalove man. He was a hermaphrodite, and for those that know that hermaphrodite, they have the sexual organs of both the male and the female, and of course the Fullalove man wasn't the brightest of sparks, and like with the brain the size of the peanut, he used to spend a lot of his time trying to shag himself, and of course that is not very good for the breeding, and unfortunately only a few sort of survived for the centuries to end up breeding with the Neanderthal. However, it has come to light now that some of the genes of the Fullalove man actually survived to this day, and it is in the human race, and I am going to tell you 4 ways that you can tell if somebody has got the Fullalove genes in. Now, first of all, the Fullalove, like the countryside, so I suppose if you go somewhere like a golf club or somewhere like that, you can quite often see, the people out enjoying themselves, and the way you pick out the Fullalove man, if you see a chap in like a sandy pit, and he's got his club and he's hacking away at his boards and his arms are flailing everywhere and he's whacking at the balls and he's using profanities, and then you may hear the distress. It's a sound they would cry out in the sandy pit. He would swing his arms and he'd go scuff, scuff, swing his arm again and go scuff, scuff. Well, this scuff was the mating call of the old ancient Fullalove man, you see, and this all comes back up inside him, So when you see it, it's a scuff, scuff, and he's getting so angry. This is just a thing from the history of him. This is part of the genes of the Fullalove man. There's another thing you can sometimes see, and a lot of people tell me they have seen this, where the chap goes around the golf course and he gets angry and he picks his club up and he swings it around his head and he flings it in the water. Well, he is not getting angry. He is chucking this into the pond to try and kill the fish so he could have something to eat. And again, this is a part of the Fullalove history coming out. His natural instinct to hunt. If he's hungry, he's not angry at all. He just throws his club in there to try to kill the fish. But the prize, it doesn't often work out for the poor Fullalove man. There are last couple of things that we know that really convince you if you are talking to Fullalove man, and that is, as I said to you earlier, that the Fullalove man originally he was a hermaphrodite, so because he had the organs of the lady and the gentleman, like you know what I mean, the bits down there and the bit up there. Well, anyway, as the centuries passed and Fullalove man could not keep mating with himself, the female genitalia, it evolved over the centuries into an orifice that allowed the Fullalove man to learn to speak, so he could speak and communicate from this what was the lady genitalia. Well, that is a dead giveaway when you talk to someone now, because if a chap talks to you and you think, my God, this chap, he talks to me, he sounds like some sort of female genitalia because of the way the words come out, then you know that possibly there's a bit of Fullalove in this chap. But the last thing that sometimes it's a bit more difficult to establish, but it's not impossible, and that is, of course, Fullalove man used to have sex with himself, you know, because he was a hermaphrodite and it wasn't very successful. He's in the genes that come through the centuries are still there, so he still get these urges to want to have sex with himself, you know. So as he has no longer got the female genitalia as well, he had to find another way to do it. So if you see sometimes a chap who's got the old eyes like the Chinaman like this and the fuck teeth like that, the face going, it is a possibility that the Fuller man could be making the sex with himself with using his hand, you see, because that is the only thing that he could possibly try to replicate. So anyway, I hope you have learned a little bit today about the Fuller man, the early days, and the Fullalove man, and I look forward to speaking to you again in the future.